Some movies mess with your head so much, you can't stop thinking about them for days. From a wild journey through a universe that doesn't make sense, to a guy living inside someone else's head, to a trippy, disturbing world where nothing is what it seems, to a dark and twisted reality where you can't escape, these films will have you saying, "What the hell just happened?" I'll show you some crazy films, but be careful. Spoilers ahead. No holding back when we dive in, so let's jump into it. The first on our list is Everything Everywhere All at Once, a film that takes the multiverse concept and cranks it up to absolute insanity. If you've seen it, you know it's impossible to explain in a single sentence. It throws you into the chaotic life of Evelyn Wang, a laundromat owner drowning in taxes, family issues, and the weight of infinite realities. One minute, she's arguing with an IRS agent, and the next, she's jumping between universes where she's a kung fu master, a movie star, or, yeah, a person with hot dog fingers. But beneath all the absurdity, the film hits deep. It's not just about multiversal madness. It's about existential dread, regret, and the overwhelming realization that every choice branches into an entirely different life. And in the middle of it all is Jobu Tupaki, an all-powerful nihilistic version of Evelyn's daughter, who's seen it all and decided nothing matters. By the time we reach the ending, it's not about saving the universe. It's about choosing something to hold on to despite the chaos. Instead of fighting nihilism with force, Evelyn embraces it, choosing kindness, choosing love, choosing her daughter. It's a film that makes you question everything, while somehow also making you cry over two rocks having a silent conversation. Next up is Being John Malkovich, a film so bizarre it feels like a fever dream. If you've seen it, you already know how weird this gets. A depressed puppeteer, a tiny door hidden behind a filing cabinet, and a tunnel that throws you straight into the mind of John Malkovich for exactly 15 minutes before spitting you out on the side of a highway. It's surreal, hilarious, and deeply unsettling all at once. The film starts off strange, but gets even more unhinged when people start selling tickets for a chance to experience life as Malkovich. Then, it turns into a full-blown identity crisis, with different people trying to take permanent control of his body. And just when you think it can't get any weirder, we get that scene, Malkovich entering his own mind, only to find himself in a nightmare world where everyone is Malkovich, and all they can say is, Malkovich. But underneath all the absurdity, it's a film about control, obsession, and the lengths people will go to escape their own miserable lives. And the ending? Pure existential horror. Craig, the puppeteer, believes he's finally found a way to live forever by jumping into Malkovich's body at just the right moment. But instead, he ends up trapped inside the mind of a little girl, unable to control anything, forced to watch life unfold through her eyes. Next up is The Holy Mountain, a film that you will consider one of the greatest ever made, or the absolute worst. There's no in-between. Directed by Alejandro Jodorowsky, this is less of a movie and more of a full-blown sensory overload. It throws you into a world of surreal imagery, religious symbolism, and sequences so bizarre they feel like they came straight from a hallucination. The story, if you can even call it that, follows a Christ-like figure known as the Thief, who wanders through a corrupt, grotesque society before encountering an enigmatic alchemist, played by Jodorowsky himself. The alchemist recruits him alongside 7 of the wealthiest and most powerful individuals in the world, each representing a different planet in the solar system. Their goal? To ascend the Holy Mountain, where they believe they'll find the secret to immortality and overthrow the 9 sages who rule existence. But this isn't a film that cares about traditional storytelling. Instead, it bombards you with unforgettable and unsettling visuals. Skinned animals, religious rituals, militarized clowns reenacting colonial massacres, gold being literally made from excrement. Each scene meant to challenge, disturb, or completely confuse you. And then comes the ending. Just when you think you might be piecing together its meaning, Jodorowsky shatters the illusion by breaking the fourth wall in a way that forces you to rethink everything you just watched. Whether you see it as a masterpiece or pure nonsense, one thing is certain: the Holy Mountain is an experience you'll never forget. Next, we have Vivarium, a 2019 sci-fi thriller that's both mind-bending and unsettling. The film follows a young couple, Gemma and Tom, who are in the market for a new home. They visit a real estate agent who leads them to a pristine suburban development, an eerie, identical neighborhood where every house looks the same. But as soon as they try to leave, they realize something is terribly wrong. They're trapped in the neighborhood with no way to escape. What starts as a seemingly bizarre twist turns into a nightmarish experience when the couple is given a strange, inexplicable gift: a box containing a baby. Only it's not a human baby, it's an unnerving, alien-like child who grows at an absurdly fast rate. As the days drag on, the couple tries to break free, but the neighborhood seems to distort and loop back on itself. They are stuck in a claustrophobic cycle, each day blending into the next, and the child's strange behavior only deepens the mystery. Vivarium is a chilling exploration of conformity, the breakdown of identity, and the existential horror of being trapped in a sterile, inescapable environment. The film reflects the anxiety of modern life, stuck in routines, expectations, and the fear of being unable to break free. The ending? It's deeply disturbing, leaving you with a haunting realization about the nature of the world these characters are trapped in. Next, let's talk about Late Night with the Devil, a horror film that takes a pretty unique approach to the genre. Set in the 1970s, it revolves around a live television interview where a famous late-night host is interviewing a young girl who's been possessed by a demon. The catch? This isn't your typical possession movie. This is happening live, in front of an audience, and everything is unfolding in real time. The film is presented as a found footage style broadcast, and as we watch the interview unravel, we feel like we're right there, experiencing the horror firsthand. The girl, who seems innocent at first, becomes overtaken by something much darker and far more malevolent. As the interview continues, it's clear that this possession is far from ordinary, and the host's attempts to maintain control only make things worse. What makes this film so unsettling is how real it feels. It's like we're watching something that's actually happening, and the tension slowly builds, leaving us with a growing sense of dread. The live TV audience adds another layer of terror as the horror becomes more personal. At first, it might seem like the broadcaster's using the possession as a way to gain views, capitalizing on the chaos for ratings. But this idea disappears in the final scene when true chaos breaks loose and the devil fully ascends, showing that this was never just a gimmick. I find this film really unique because the devil's design incorporates electricity, which is something we don't usually see in possession stories. It adds a modern, almost technological element to the horror. But I believe that this was done on purpose. The devil isn't just some ancient evil anymore. He's adapting to the modern world, using the power of electricity and broadcast media to spread his influence. It's as if the devil is tapping into the very thing that connects us all, technology, to make the horror feel even more immediate and invasive. And that's it. 5 films that will mess with your head. Drop a comment on which one got to you the most, or if you've got another mind-bending film to add.